Why Ethereum could be the future of finance and reach $20,000 plus. What if I told you that Ethereum is not just another cryptocurrency, but a technology that could completely change the future of money, banking, investing, and even the internet itself? And what if this same asset could one day reach $20,000 or even more? I know that sounds crazy to some people, but when you really understand what Ethereum is, what it does, and why so many investors, developers, and companies are paying attention to it, that number starts to make a lot more sense. In today's video, I'm going to explain in very simple words why Ethereum could be the future of finance, what makes it so powerful, how it is different from Bitcoin, and whether a $20,000 Ethereum is actually possible. So watch this video till the end, because by the end of it, you'll understand why Ethereum is one of the most important projects in the entire crypto market. And if you enjoy crypto videos in simple English, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Shabeen Crypto, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any important update. Before we talk about price targets like $20,000, we first need to understand one very important thing. Ethereum is not just digital money. Ethereum is much bigger than that. Bitcoin was created mainly as a new form of money and a store of value, but Ethereum was built with a much bigger vision. Ethereum is a blockchain platform where developers can build apps, create smart contracts, move money, launch tokens, and build complete financial systems without needing traditional banks or middlemen. In simple words, if Bitcoin is like digital gold, then Ethereum is more like a digital financial system for the future. That's why so many people believe Ethereum could become one of the most valuable assets in the world. Ethereum is special because it introduced something called smart contracts. A smart contract is basically a program that runs automatically on the blockchain when certain conditions are met. For example, if someone sends money, a smart contract can automatically release an asset. If someone repays a loan, the collateral can be returned automatically. If two people want to make a deal without trusting each other, Ethereum can make that possible through code. This means you don't always need a bank, broker, or company in the middle. Ethereum can help people interact directly with each other through software, and that is a very powerful idea. When people compare Bitcoin and Ethereum, they often think they are the same, but they actually do very different jobs. Bitcoin is mainly seen as digital gold, a store of value, and an asset that many people hold for the long term. Ethereum, on the other hand, is seen as the foundation for decentralized finance, smart contracts, digital assets, and blockchain applications. Bitcoin is mainly about holding value, while Ethereum is about building a new system where money, contracts, apps, and assets can move on the blockchain. That's why Ethereum is often seen as much more than a cryptocurrency. Many investors see it as a technology platform that could become a major part of the future financial world. And that is one of the biggest reasons why Ethereum gets so much attention whenever people talk about long-term crypto investments. Now let's talk about why Ethereum could be the future of finance. The reason is simple. Ethereum makes it possible to build financial services without relying completely on traditional middlemen. Today, if you want to send money internationally, borrow money, lend money, trade assets, earn yield, or invest in financial products, you usually need a bank, a broker, or some kind of institution in the middle. But Ethereum makes it possible for many of these things to happen through decentralized applications, also known as dApps. For example, people can lend and borrow assets using decentralized finance protocols. Stablecoins, which are digital versions of dollars and other currencies, can move across Ethereum quickly and globally. Decentralized exchanges allow people to trade digital assets without depending fully on centralized platforms. Tokenization is another very big idea. In the future, stocks, bonds, real estate, and many other assets could be turned into digital tokens and moved on blockchain networks like Ethereum. If that happens, Ethereum could become a major layer for the movement of financial value across the world. That's why so many people believe Ethereum is not just part of crypto, but could become part of the future financial infrastructure itself. Another big reason Ethereum is so powerful is because of its network effect. Ethereum already has one of the biggest ecosystems in crypto. It has thousands of developers, a huge number of decentralized applications, strong liquidity, major brand recognition, and a long history as the leading smart contract platform. Developers are very important because they build the apps, tools, and systems that bring users and money into the network. The more developers building on Ethereum, the more useful the ecosystem becomes. The more useful it becomes, the more users and investors it can attract. This creates a powerful cycle that can keep strengthening Ethereum over time. Even though there are many other blockchain projects trying to compete with Ethereum, Ethereum still has one of the strongest positions in the entire crypto market because of its ecosystem, its history, and the trust it has built over the years. Now let's talk about ETH itself and why many people believe it could become much more valuable in the future. ETH is the token that powers the Ethereum network. It is used to pay transaction fees, interact with smart contracts, and support the whole Ethereum ecosystem. Ethereum also uses a proof-of-stake system, which means ETH can be staked to help secure the network. This is important because staking can reduce the amount of ETH available for trading and can create long-term demand from people who want to hold and stake their coins. If Ethereum keeps growing, if more developers build on it, if more stablecoins use it, if more decentralized finance activity happens on it, and if more institutions start using Ethereum-based infrastructure, then the demand for ETH could continue rising over time. That is why some investors see ETH as a very important long-term asset in the digital economy. If Ethereum becomes more useful and more important in global finance, then ETH could also become much more valuable as a result. So now we come to the big question. Can Ethereum really reach $20,000? The truth is that nobody knows for sure, but yes, it is possible under the right conditions. For Ethereum to reach $20,000, we would likely need a major crypto bull market, strong demand from investors, continued growth in decentralized finance, more stablecoin usage, more real-world asset tokenization, and stronger institutional adoption of Ethereum-related products and services. If Ethereum becomes a major settlement layer for digital finance, if more ETH gets locked in staking, and if the overall crypto market grows much larger over the next few years, then a move toward $20,000 becomes much easier to imagine. Of course, this would not happen overnight, and it would not happen just because people are excited on social media. It would require real growth, real adoption, and strong market conditions. But when you look at Ethereum's role in crypto, its use cases, its ecosystem, and the amount of money and development flowing into it, you can understand why so many people believe it has the potential to reach very high prices in the future. At the same time, it is important to stay realistic and understand the risks as well. Ethereum is one of the strongest projects in crypto, but it still faces competition from other smart contract platforms. Regulation is another major risk because governments around the world can still create rules that affect crypto markets. Ethereum is also a volatile asset, which means its price can rise quickly but can also fall very hard during bear markets. There are also challenges around scaling, user experience, fees, and competition in the blockchain space. That's why no one should blindly believe any price prediction, no matter how exciting it sounds. Instead, it's better to focus on the bigger picture. Is Ethereum continuing to grow? Is adoption increasing? Are developers still building on it? And are more real-world financial use cases moving on to the network? Those are the questions that really matter if you want to understand Ethereum's long-term future. So when we put everything together, the Ethereum story becomes very interesting. Ethereum is not just another coin people buy and sell for quick profits. It is a platform that is trying to power smart contracts, decentralized finance, digital payments, tokenized assets, and many other parts of a new internet-based financial system. That is why so many people believe Ethereum could become one of the most important financial networks in the world over the next decade. Will Ethereum definitely reach $20,000? No one can guarantee that. But if blockchain adoption keeps growing, if Ethereum remains one of the leading smart contract platforms, and if the future of finance becomes more digital, open, and decentralized, then Ethereum could have a very big role to play in that future. And if that happens, the value of ETH could rise far beyond what many people expect today. So Shabeen, if you also believe Ethereum has a big future, then let me know in the comments. Do you think Ethereum can really reach $20,000, or is that too bullish? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Shabeen Crypto, and press the bell icon so you never miss any new crypto update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.